Going on this regular Ravens fan coming back at you with another video. I always tell people, as I start all my videos, trust your eyes, people. Trust your eyes and watch the game. I want you to listen to what Shannon Sharpe has to say and listen carefully to what he has to say. This is an excerpt. If you all can read the bottom, the Ravens signed Sammy Watkins, and they just want to know, is that enough for the Ravens to be a better team, to win more playoff games and possibly get to the Super Bowl. Nevertheless, Shannon Sharpe is going to raise an interesting point, which is going to show you all why a regular Ravens fan makes the videos I make, why I say the things I say, why my beef is with the national media as a whole, and why I'm trying so desperately to get others out there to help me to change this narrative as it pertains to Lamar Jackson. The national media as a whole says Lamar Jackson can't. All right? Listen carefully to what Shannon Sharpe is getting ready to say. He's going to bring up one interesting point about Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. And then we're going to bring it back full circle to perception. And I just want you all to listen. And then, of course, I got some things I got to say.
Skip, the last 2 years, you've been number one in rushing. Last year, you were dead last in passing. How do I convince a guy? Because what happens, Skip, I get 1,000 yards receiving at the team I've left from. I come there and I get 700. Y'all looking at me like I'm crazy. He not the same. He not the same. Well, y'all don't give me the same opportunities. I'm not getting 100. Take Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs was in a run-first offense, even with Kirk Cousins at Minnesota.
Yep.
He goes to Buffalo. He gets 180-plus targets. He leads the league in catches and receiving yards. Do you think that's what's going to happen if he goes to receiver goes to Baltimore? He's going to lead the league in targets? No. So that's what you got to break if you're trying to lure a big-time free agent.
I still say Lamar can throw it better than most people give him credit.
Yes. But, Skip, what you and I believe, as opposed to what a wide receiver that could potentially go there believe, that his perception is he don't throw it as well as Brady, as Josh Allen, as Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, some of these other, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray. That's their perception. What you and I think, we don't have to catch the ball. We're not going there.
No.
But those guys don't believe that. So how does he dispel that belief? A person's perception is their reality.
That's what I want to stop it at right there, people. A person's perception is their reality. The truth, although we all talk about the truth and we all say, the truth shall set you free, the reality is that the perception is what your reality is. That's the real truth. Perception is everything. That's why people want to have a clean image. You know what I mean? Because perception is everything. And then we come to hear things about people and we say, wow, I didn't think such and such was capable of that because the perception was a certain way. He brought up something about Stephon Diggs. Let's go back, people, because remember, Stephon Diggs was not a free agent. He was traded to Buffalo. He was unhappy in Minnesota and he was traded to Buffalo. So that's a different scenario than a free agent actually signing in Buffalo. I ask a question to anybody out there who may be listening. Was there any wide receiver on Buffalo's roster last year, no matter whom they had, who led the NFL in targets and receptions? Absolutely not. The reason is because the dog wasn't on the squad. You can't force stuff to things that don't exist. You can't give a guy the NFL lead in targets if he doesn't have the potential to turn that into the NFL lead in reception yardage. Once they got that with Stephon Diggs, you heard nothing but glowing things about Josh Allen. I've been saying this for years. First thing I've been saying for years is that I honestly believe, I've always believed that Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson would be the best two quarterbacks in that draft. I've said that since day one. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson will be the best two quarterbacks of their draft class. But the national media was awfully quiet on Josh Allen his first 2 years in the league. They didn't start giving him press until he got Stephon Diggs. Conversely, for Lamar Jackson, they gave him press since before he came in the league. However, that press was always negative. And that's where we come back to the perception. See, now that Josh Allen has had a receiver who's worthy of the league lead in targets, who can produce the league lead in reception yards, the national media is now giving him his props. but they didn't beat him up when he wasn't doing that. When he was completing 50+% of his passes, you didn't hear anything about Josh Allen. You might not have even known what he was doing, whether it was good or bad. So, I mean, just go back and look at the way he played in that playoff game against Houston a year ago. Not this year, but a year ago. You didn't hear anything about Josh. As a matter of fact, you very seldomly heard people say, oh, I don't know if Josh Allen's the answer. But that's all he said. Then he got a true number one wide receiver, which all quarterbacks need. I don't know where this notion has come from that quarterbacks make receivers. A number one receiver, a person who has the skill set to be a number one receiver, will always elevate a quarterback. It makes coverage easier. It gives you a bailout. And that's why it makes the quarterback's job easier. If you've got a receiver on your squad that's getting doubled, that's getting coverage rolled his way, even if he's covered, typically you've got easy completions on the other side of the field with your other players. That's what a true number one gives you. When you don't have that and teams can play you straight up, they can then play games and traps with you, make quarterbacks throw picks. But Shannon Sharpe just said to you all, the perception is reality. That's why I fight so hard against the perception that Lamar Jackson can't. Because as I've told people in the past, and people don't believe me, but I've explained to people, the national media has a way of framing narratives that become reality. And once they push that, if you're not in this region and you don't see Lamar Jackson play on a snap-by-snap, game-by-game basis, and all you see is the highlights, and when you watch highlights, they pick out his worst throws, and they show them to you over and over and over again, no matter what his stat line was, no matter how many good throws he had, but they only show you his bad plays, and then they give you bad commentary on top of it. You're inclined to believe that's true because you see it, right? So when you have guys say that Lamar Jackson, has to get better as a passer, never mind the fact that his completion percentage for his career is exactly the same as Tom Brady's at 64.0. Nobody ever says that Tom Brady has to get better completing passes, but they say it about Lamar Jackson. If he has a dog, if he has somebody on his team that can pull coverage, if he has somebody on his team that can consistently beat man-to-man coverage, it makes life a whole lot easier. And all you have to do is look at Josh Allen. That's why I'm out here doing what I'm doing. Because I see it. And I know if the media slant had been different on Lamar Jackson, you'd have guys lining up to go play there. But Shannon Sharpe is telling the truth. It's going to be hard to get free agents to come there. When free agents and their family members turn on the TV and they hear about how Lamar Jackson can't throw and they're trying to feed their families, they're going to get told, hey, don't go there, man. Don't go there. Unless it's some crazy contract that you can't turn down, which, unfortunately, the Ravens are never in a position to do because the Ravens have a habit of keeping their own good talent. They have a habit of rewarding guys who actually deserve to be rewarded. They don't sit up there and say we'll throw seasons away and be $50 and $60 million under the cap. They don't do that. So they never have those crazy contracts like the one Galladay just got from the Giants. The Ravens will never be able to offer someone a crazy contract like that. So they can't get that receiver. Now, if you think about it, way the national media plays it, because a free agent went to the Giants. A free agent wide receiver went to the Giants. He got a crazy contract, but he went there. That really doesn't mean that Daniel Jones is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson. That's not what it means. What it means is they had the cap space to blow away any other offer that Galladay could have gotten. So he signed on the dotted line because at the end of the day, these guys are about making money. They're about getting generational wealth. So if somebody's going to give you that, regardless of if you're going to win or lose, you got to take it. You got to take it. Unless there's a team that can win that's close, you got to take that contract. The Ravens are trying to get people at market value, but you've got a perception out there that your quarterback can't. No matter the facts are that Lamar Jackson has gotten the Ravens into the playoffs each and every year he's been in the league. The facts are that Lamar Jackson has won unanimous MVP. The facts are that Lamar Jackson has led the NFL in touchdown passes. The facts are that Lamar Jackson in 3 years has won 2 division titles. The facts are what really happened. But the perception, because no matter all of that going on that I just told you, these other quarterbacks are better. That's what the national media says. These other quarterbacks are better. I don't think Lamar Jackson can get it done. Because Lamar Jackson was supposed to change positions, right? He was supposed to not even be a quarterback. He wasn't even an NFL caliber quarterback. He needed to switch to wide receivers. And now, rather than admit that they were wrong about him, all you hear is, I don't think you can win a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson. Like, really? Like, does anyone say you don't think you can win a Super Bowl with Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield? No, they don't say that. Baker Mayfield has stars all around him on the offensive side of the ball. Why don't people say anything about him winning a Super Bowl? Lamar Jackson's been in the league 3 years. 3. I don't even know how many years the kid over there in LA that just got traded from Detroit, Matthew Stafford. I don't even know how many years he's been in the league. Yet, Lamar Jackson has won more playoff games in 3 years than Matthew Stafford has won in his entire career. Lamar Jackson has never played with Megatron. He's never played in a pass-first offense so far in his time in the NFL. But a Matthew Stafford gets traded for number 1 picks, and now all you hear from the media is, oh, the Rams are a Super Bowl contender. But Lamar Jackson has done nothing but put his team in position to at least think about the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford can't even get a winning season. I mean, come on. He's been playing with better wide receivers, even after Megatron, than Lamar Jackson has had to this point. And I'm not here to take shots at the receivers that Lamar Jackson have. But they're young. They're guys who are still trying to find their way, with a quarterback who's still trying to find his way. All of these guys are seeing NFL coverages for the first times in their lives. They've got to adjust to it. They don't have a guy in that room that can really tell them what to do. They're like a real veteran wide receiver that can get it done. It's one thing to be a vet and be over the hill. It's another thing to be a vet who can say it and can also go out there and do it. Like Stephon Diggs did for Josh Allen. Same team. Only added 2 wide receivers. They added Stephon Diggs in a trade, Cole Beasley in a signing. Boom. Josh Allen is the best thing since sliced bread. Never mind his first 2 years. Because they were quiet on him. That's how the media plays this game. And that's why I'm out here. I'm going to keep on beating this drum. Because this is the reason why for the last 2 years I've been making videos. I've been trying to fight that very narrative that Shannon Sharpe is talking about. That perception. That perception that Lamar Jackson can't. When I watch this kid play every Sunday here in Baltimore, and I say, wow, every single Sunday. Like, this kid's got me excited for football all year long. Just to see what he's going to do next. That's how good he really is. You just heard Skip and Shannon both say, you heard Skip say, I think Lamar Jackson can throw it better than people give him credit for. Why is that? Why would the unanimous MVP have people still doubting him? Remember all of the rope they gave Russell Wilson to develop and grow? Remember when Russell Wilson first came in the league and was barely throwing for 150 yards a game, but would run around and make some plays here and there, and he had that great defense behind him? They just gave him room to grow. Nobody said Russell Wilson can't get it done. They never said that. Why? Because he was winning. So why is it that when Lamar Jackson is winning, why isn't the national media giving him the same rope that they gave Russell Wilson? To be quite honest, Russell Wilson has never, ever done anything since the LOB left. To be quite honest. I mean, his team has still won some games. He hasn't won in the playoffs to the same tune. He hasn't been back to the Super Bowl since LOB broke up. And the LOB is Legion of Boom for you all out there who don't know. Since Beast Mode and LOB left, they have not made it to another Super Bowl in Seattle. Russell Wilson has not guided them to that. He's actually played pretty mediocre in the playoffs. They don't beat him up, but they beat Lamar Jackson up for every loss. Even in his win. Well, he didn't play that good because he didn't throw for 5,000 yards. I mean, the kid went out there in the playoff game last year, had over 500 yards of total offense, and it was all called empty calories. So if he goes out there and have 500 yards and loses, and if he goes out there and have 200 yards and winning, the national media still wants to tell you that he's not good. He can't win. He can't get a break. But it's going to take us, the fans. It's going to take the regular Ravens fan. And it's going to take all other regular fans out there to start saying what we see. Let's speak on it for what we see, people. I've been watching this game for a long time. I don't see quarterbacks getting their teams to the playoffs every year that are garbage. I just don't see it happening. But I watched Lamar Jackson do it, so I know he's not garbage. But I just wanted to put this video out there because I don't know if anybody missed it when he said it. Perception is reality. And that's why here in Baltimore, we got to kill that perception. We got to kill that narrative. This is regular Ravens fan. I'm Ravens for life, and I'm going to support Lamar Jackson because I'm a Ravens fan and I am biased. But just because I'm biased doesn't mean that I don't trust what I see, and my eyes don't lie to me. These people talking on these TV shows can lie. My eyes don't. We out here.